there's a guy right here. You see number 24? He will take it. Oh, nice. Thank you. Give it to that guy. He seems trustworthy.
Except he's wearing a Jets jersey.
Except he's wearing a Jets jersey. All right. You told her you were trustworthy, so we lied.
And you know what she said? But he's wearing a Jets jersey. It's weird because she said that. We didn't. We didn't say that. She did.
I am going to mention. You should. What are your thoughts, by the way? People. Oh, that was.
Mazel tov.
I put it on there for us to have dialogue. So he's been my number for 10 years. She was a member for a long time. It was very difficult. I just think we set a precedent, so I don't know if we should mention it or not, or just mention it. I know. I'm asking you. and Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
If you did not join us for dinner and you have not read any of our emails and you just walked into the sanctuary, you might be wondering why we look like this. And we've decided, by the way, that we're just going to dress like this every Shabbat. So we're just going to put our favorite jerseys on and dress like this. So if you have not been following along, it is Shabbat Blitz is what we're calling it. If you don't know what Blitz is, I'm sorry. So you ask a neighbor. It's a football term because Sunday is the Super Bowl because we're blitzing towards Shabbat. Is that? Raise your hand if you know who's playing in the Super Bowl. Thank you. So yes, so this is what most people have been saying is that the 49ers are playing against Taylor Swift. That is what we're hearing. It's what our youth has shared with us, and so it must be correct. Our youth are here, A, because we love them, and B, because they have a lock-in tonight. They are going to hang out at the shul. It's going to be great and fabulous and wonderful, and our director of our youth is going to be here to shepherd them. It's going to be fun and festive and fabulous. So if you're here for the first time, hello and welcome. Now I explain to you how we're dressed like this. If you're here for the 1,000th time, we're also happy that you're here. We're enjoying the choice of the jerseys. I think there are some really good choices of jerseys, and those of you wearing particular sports themes. What we're going to do now is we're going to have everyone stand up individually and share for about 5 minutes each why you chose the. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But you should know our service is going to be a little bit lighter tonight, as you can already tell. Our liturgy is going to be a little bit lighter. We're going to interject in the middle of each of our prayers a sentence or two or three or a paragraph from someone connected to the NFL. It could be a coach, it could be a player, it could be a former player. So we're going to be interweaving some of our thoughts through the Shabbat service with some quotes from football, American football, to clarify for those of you who might be from Europe. So if you're on a live stream, hello and welcome. We're happy that you are here as well. We're hoping it's working. We had a little issue with it, but now we think it's working and you can see us. If you are on our live stream, you can follow along with our service. Go to cbiboca.org, hit menu, scroll down a little bit, and then hit virtual prayer book. You'll be able to pray along and chant along with us throughout the service. And if you're here in the sanctuary, if you have not done so already, reach under your seat and grab your prayer books. It should be right there. Prayer books are right under your seat. If you don't have one under your seat, there's one under your neighbor's seat. Please ask them before you reach for their prayer book. But they'll probably be willing to share with you, is my guess. Okay. I think we've, if you don't know who we are, by the way, this is Rabbi Kahn over here. This is Cantor Muchnick over here. I'm Rabbi Keller, and we are going to move forward with our service. I think that's a good number of announcements. Usually Cantor Muchnick likes when I talk this much, and so I wanted to talk as much as possible for him. Great, perfect. Okay, we're going to continue with the lighting of Shabbat. We're actually going to begin with our first quote and then move to candles. So you'll hear what we mean by our quote, and that is, it's a quote from Tom Landry from the Dallas Cowboys, and he said, "A champion is simply someone who did not give up when they wanted to." And I think that speaks beautifully about us, about the Jewish community, that there are times, and particularly in this moment right now in our history, there are times that we feel immense pressure to be Jewish. We feel immense pressure around the world. We feel immense pressure in regards to anti-Semitism, and I always equate us as a Jewish community to an olive, which is a very Jewish food item anyway. And it's as if an olive, by the way, gets stronger, if you will, as you squeeze it, because out of an olive comes pure olive olive juice, and that olive juice, by the way, can light candles for us and can bring light. And so in our pressure, sometimes we can emit the most light in our darkness, and that is what we continue to do as a Jewish community. And so now that we've entered our service, we can continue with the lighting of Shabbat candles, which you can find on page 2. We're going to invite Annie Rosenthal, our youth engagement professional, to light our Shabbat candles for us. Page 2.
Now it's on? Okay. I assume that all of the fabulous 6th and 7th graders are going to be joining me with this. Fabulous. All right. It's not my first time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Our candles are lit, and now we are officially amidst our 25 hours of Shabbat, and so we can all take that nice little exhale the week, long week, and move into the beauty and we hope the calm of Shabbat as we seek to sweeten that time even further with Kiddush, our blessing over our fruit of the vine on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri gafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki vanu vacharta viltanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
Pat Tillman once said, "Somewhere inside we hear a voice. It leads us in the direction of the person we wish to become, but it's up to us whether or not to follow." As Shabbat enters, we long to connect with our inner selves, our best selves, and we sing in gratitude to God for the opportunity to connect with our best selves and our gift of all of our potential. We're on page 13, Shiru Ladonai.
Adonai
continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בלמד דברכירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעולמי יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעולמה ואמרו
Amen. Our next quote comes from Ralph Marston. Anyone know that name, who he was? I did not either. I had to look it up. He played for the Boston Bulldogs in 1929, which was actually in the NFL, in an attempt for the NFL to have a team in Boston in itself, and it did not work. But he played for 1 year for the Boston Bulldogs. But I'll tell you what, he has some great quotes. He has a lot of great quotes, like this one. Just because the road ahead is long, there is no reason to slow down. Just because there is much work to be done, there's no reason to get discouraged. There is a reason to get started, to grow, to find new ways, to reach within yourself and discover strength, commitment, and determination. The road ahead is long and difficult, but it's filled with opportunity. Start what needs starting, finish what needs finishing, get on the road, stay on the road, and never give up. And so that connects for me in this idea of being on the road together. That when we do things together as a community, there's a reason why when you drive right into the synagogue and you look to your left on our building, there is a kuf and a kuf. And each of those kufs stand for Kehillah Kedosha, holy community. Because when we do things together, when we get on that road together, and we have those opportunities, whether they're difficult, we have to have that determination, and we do it together. We celebrate together, we pray together, we dance together. And in these moments right now, we will continue and we will stand together as we move on to our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 28.
La
remain standing as we turn to page 30. Let's read together in the English on the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. As we prepare to offer the Shema now, our prayer that asks us to listen and remember God's oneness, we recall more wise words from Ralph Marston, who said, "Be someone who listens, and you will be heard. Be someone who cares, and you will be loved. Be someone who gives, and you will be blessed. Be someone who comforts, and you will know peace." Page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'em.
You may be seated. We continue on page 36.
Lai, 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 בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. לי, 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 והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצפך היום על לבבך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם נאות ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. לי, 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 לי,
That was a fun ending. That was fun.
It's the way it's written.
Oh, I thought we were going to take credit for it, but it was very nice. Passion is what makes life interesting, what ignites our soul, fuels our love, and carries our friendships, stimulates our intellect, and pushes our limits. A passion for life is contagious and uplifting. Words from the late Pat Tillman, the jersey I'm actually wearing. Pat Tillman was safety for the Arizona Cardinals, and he decided to leave the Cardinals because he decided to go into the military. And he went into the military, And unfortunately, while in the military, he was killed by friendly fire. And so he not only played football, but he gave his life for our country. And so his words of igniting our soul and love and carrying up friendship and stimulating our intellect and our passion and the idea that connecting all of those is contagious because it uplifts us, because it connects to us, because it gives us that feeling of freedom and connection. It gives us the hope that maybe one day there'll be true redemption for all of us as we stick together and have those passions and know that they can be truly contagious. So with those thoughts and ideas and that sense of urgency for all of us to be together and for all of us to seek that redemption, we continue with our song of redemption, Micha Mocha, on page 40.
זכרה ובניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני,
As we offer the Micha Mocha with such joy, we are reminded that that tune reminds us that Dan Nichols, who wrote that tune, will be here in 2 weeks. So I know we have a lot of exciting things happening. Shabbat Blitz tonight, Disney Shabbat next week, and then the week after, Dan Nichols, who, if you don't know, is a very talented Jewish musician, and we hope you will join us for that. Speaking of talent, that reminds me of our next quote. Look at that. Lou Holtz said, "Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you are willing to do. Your attitude determines how well you do it." It's true, as it is with everything, that what we put into life is what we get out. So is the same for Shabbat. So as we turn to Vishamru now on page 44, we sing with all our hearts and with all the joy we can muster so that we feel that joy back tenfold.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת בתורתם ברית טובה.
It is time now to once again rise, if you are able, as we stand before God with open hearts and lips filled with praise. We are on page 46 as we begin our tefillah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftachu fia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elokei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elokei Abraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Sarah, Elokei Rivka, Elokei Rachel, Elokei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Kodnei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geulah Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד. יהיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל
Hakadosh. As a moment, we will take some time for our own silent prayers. I share with you these words. Happiness is a choice, not a result. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. No person will make you happy unless you decide to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. Please take some time for your own thoughts, meditations, beginning here on page 52 through page 62. When you're finished, please be seated. Raise your hand if you've ever been live at a college football game or an NFL game. NFL or college football game. All right, it's a large number of people. Shout out some aspect of the game. Go. No, like an aspect. Thank you for very specific. I mean, like, is it loud? Are people screaming? Something. Go ahead. Energy. Good. The wave. That's very nice. Doing the wave. What's that? It's cold if you're not here. Yes. Good. Oh, there's first downs. That's good. Now you're describing parts of the game. There are sacks. That's very good. Excellent. Nice. Good. Tom Brady, who is, yes. Did he play football? Tom Brady, is he a football player? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah. Nice. Good. All right. Thank you, everyone. That was very boisterous. Thank you. So if you've been to this football game, you know it's a little different than a basketball game. It's a different feel than a baseball game. There's a different flow to how the game goes. My favorite thing about a football game is really if you time it out, it's 1 hour. The game is 1 hour, right? Except it's 1 hour long. The game, right? If you look at that, how long each? It's not. If really the game time is 1 hour, but it's never 1 hour because it takes forever. But so I grew up going to Miami Hurricanes games. Thank you very much. My dad's sitting right there. Hey, if you're booing the Miami Hurricanes, I'm taking away dessert. There's no dessert for you. If you boo the Hurricanes, there's no dessert. That's just how it's going to go. All right. So I grew up going to the Hurricanes games, and I fell in love with football. And then, very interesting, I went to college, and one of my professors, actually in my religion class, talked about how religion and football are almost the exact same thing. He said, think about it. When you go to your house of worship, there's a certain garb that you wear. You either here, so if you come into the sanctuary, you put a kippah or a talit. There's certain ways that you dress. Similarly, by the way, if you go to a football game, you usually wear the same color jersey or the same colors as your fellow teammates. So you're sort of dressed the same. He said if you go to your house of worship, you usually chant similar things. There are chants or music or sound that you sort of do at your service that's regular for all of the worshipers. Same is true at a football game. The cheers, only because you're on your team, you know your certain cheer and your certain song that goes on. Sometimes he says, sort of like you identify yourself in the religion, like I'm a Buddhist or I'm Jewish or I'm Christian. You sometimes say like I'm a bear, right? Or I'm a raven, right? I'm a dolphin. Like you say like I'm a giant. For our executive director, I'm going to say quietly, I'm a jet. Yes. So, but you identify in the same way that you say, like I'm a something, and so he explained this connection that we all have. It's very similar to being in a house of worship. But here's the thing, and here's if you know something about football. There's something really cool about this one part of football. In every game, there's one time where everything changes. Not only the strategy and the matchups, but even the rules, and that is the 2-minute warning. If you know raise your hand if you know what that means. 2-minute warning. If you don't, if your hand isn't up, I'm really sorry about the next 5 minutes or so. No, the 2-minute warning is the last 2 minutes of the game. So the last 2 minutes of the game is a 2-minute warning, and the rules change. After the 2-minute warning, the coaches often have different challenges that they can do or not do. Ruling and the clock stops in certain ways and gets started in different ways. Other rules are also modified.
just because the game has reached a 2-minute warning. The fact that there's a 2-minute warning indicates how unique that time period is. It's the urgency that suddenly changes for everyone. Action stops just like at the end of the quarter or at the half, right? You go to commercial before the 2-minute warning. So everything resets in that spot. Both sides regroup, and if the score is close, by the way, it really changes and it becomes very dramatic. The team that's losing tries what's called a hurry-up offense. And the passes are quick. They go to the sidelines. They try to go out of bounds, try and stop the clock, and use time as wisely as they possibly can. The team that's winning, though, what are they doing? They are draining that clock as much as they possibly can. It slows down. They want to make the other team take a timeout. Everything changes. And on defense, the winning team tries to prevent the big play and the long completion or the long field goal, and the defense on the losing team tries to get off the field as fast as possible. And so here's my question for you. I think as we can transfer into our own lives, if we use the analogies and concepts of football, I ask you, by the way, in our lives right now, are you on offense or are you on defense? Where are you? Are you both? Are you sometimes on offense? Are you trying to hurry up? Are you trying to waste the clock? Are you trying to hold back on the clock? What are we doing in our 2 minutes, in our 2-minute warning in our lives? How does this affect us? Are we winning, by the way? Are we losing? And if we're losing, how do we find ways to win? If we're winning, how do we find ways to continue winning? What are we doing in our strategy to stay winning? It's obvious, by the way, this is a spot for me to, of course, mention Israel about winning and balancing and strategy and how do we find that perfect balance? Because clearly we keep our hearts and our thoughts in Israel in these moments too. The urgency that is constantly happening in Israel. And so I want us to think about that on this Shabbat Blitz, on this Super Bowl weekend, on how we're controlling the clock. How are we doing that? And the strategic plan that we have, the timeouts that we maybe use. Are we using any of them? If you have 3 timeouts, we should use them. They're very precious if you know about the last 2 minutes of a game. Are you using them? Are you not using them? Do you need them? We rarely use a timeout. We're exhausted. We don't take a minute to just, here's 25 hours for us, by the way, with our 3 timeouts that we can use. And so here's the best part, and here's how I can end our little football analogy. And that is, here's the best part about being here right now, being part of Congregation B'nai Israel, is that you're not alone in any of this. You never have to make these decisions by yourself. We can help with clock. We can help with urgency. We can help with 2-minute warnings because we do so as a community. Just as everyone else does on the field. It's not a one-person sport. The team has to work together. The strategies only work when everyone knows what's about to happen next. And so we can be there for all of you in these types of moments. And so whether you're a bear, or you're a raven, or you're a dolphin, or you're a jet, it doesn't matter. Because when we are a community, we can move this together and work our clock as a holy community, as a Kehillah Kedoshah. So Shabbat Shalom, and happy Shabbat Blitz to all of you, and may we all win in the end. Shabbat Shalom. Good one. That was funny. We are going to think of those in our community who are in need of healing, physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Barbara Newmark, Gary Bandel, Howard Rosenbluth, Janet Cohen, Carol Porowich, Elliot Porowich, Stephen Tenner, Joan Seidman, Renee Schwartz, Les Cole, Mark Davis, Marcia Davis, Julius Rosenberg, Stanley Silber, Tori Bandel, Avigail Bat Simona Zahava, Lydia Nahum, Annette Suave, Helen Silverman, George Silver, Howard Manass, Roseanne Youngstein, Carol Berger, Danielle Shaw Beal, Shimon Ben Shoshana, Patty Kitt, Diane Spiro, Shauna Call, Alan Garmais, Stuart Gottlieb, Russ LeWinter, Jordana Hirsch, Donna Hirsch Grossman, Bobby Wider, Christine Cesnat, Davida Avital, Warshager, Joseph Berg, Alan and Darlene Mintz, Susan Schwartz Most, Patty Shanloff, Ned Shanloff, Sandra Tankus, Dave Wiener, Phyllis Eisenberg, Karen Seiger, David Schwartz, Daphna Rechavia, Naomi Kirstein, Scott Cohen, Shirley and Ira Kafka, Danielle Peskin, Noah Applebaum, David Sterling, Michelle Kingen, Fran Butwin, Diane Brownick, Norma, Uziel Etta Rubin, Eileen Rosengard, Joshua Salad, Nelson Soto, Robin Sablik, Kathy Ruggiero, Mordechai Avraham Ben Malka, Ben Yosef Ben Tzipora, Naor Ben Dalia, Isaac Margulis. To those names, we had any name that you'd like to add at this time. Mishaberach can be found on page 253 in your Siddur, 253. It's a pleasure to invite Phil Rothschild up to join us with some announcements. He is the Vice President of Strategic Planning here at Congregation B'nai Israel, and he has a bunch of really cool stuff to share with you on this Erev Shabbat.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Hold on. There you go.
Thank you, Rabbi. Welcome, everybody. This has been quite an evening, the beginning of Super Bowl weekend. As you've heard, we have a lot of Shabbat events coming up. Next Shabbat is Disney Shabbat on Friday the 16th. It will be a magical evening featuring a Shabbat service with prayer melodies set to famous Disney tunes, followed by an extra special oneg. You don't want to miss that in our happiest place on earth. Dan Nichols will be joining us for Shabbat on February 26th and 27th. Mark your calendars now for a fantastic, enlightening, uplifting musical weekend. Dan will be joining us for services on the 26th and 27th, and we'll be hosting a lunch and learn following services on the 27th. And for those who saw him last year, it will be just as fantastic this year. The CBI clergy, the week after that, will be leading the JCC Pride Shabbat on March 1st at 5:30 p.m. You can register online for this service through our website, www.cbiboca.org. And this is important for our regulars. This will be the only service on that evening. So the clergy will be officiating at the JCC on March 1st. So be sure to register if you'd like to join. Seats are limited. On March 2nd, Shabbat evening, Saturday night, join us for a very special community-wide Havdalah, where we honor members of CBI who have been part of the congregation for 18 years or more. Coming up on the Torah and Tea, which is a Jewish women's roundtable with Rabbi Kahn, takes place on Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. Join her as she reads and discusses each week's Torah portion from the women's commentary over tea and cookies. Congregation B'nai Israel is considering taking a solidarity trip to Israel in late June. If this interests you, please reach out directly to Rabbi Keller to find out more information. And please also join, as many of you already have, but join CBI in supporting the Jewish National Fund USA, which is on the ground every day helping our brothers and sisters in Israel by beautifying and painting a bomb shelter. For this mitzvah opportunity and many other ways you can help Israel, please visit our website, cbiboca.org. And on the website, you will find other and additional ways that you can help Israel. Following service tonight, please join us in the Oneg room for following services, which is that way. Shabbat Shalom.
Just a quick correction. Dan Nichols will be here February 23rd and 24th, not the 26th and 27th. Sorry.
We turn now to page 282 at the bottom of the page and invite all who are able to please rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא מצאנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As a congregation, we are remembering those lost this past month, and we remember Daniel Olernick, Ian Rudnick, Norbert Schmidt, Helen Golden, Lillian Bushell, Ruth Silver, Sandy Goldstein, and Stanley Geddes. And we mark the yard sites, the anniversary of the passing of Solomon Barr, Edward Cornmill, Gertrude Kerchak, Edith Lane, Saul Plotnick, Sarah Reiter, Michael Gold, Irving Polarstock, Sheldon Kaplan, Hy Singer, Ernestine Stern, Lillian Dworkin, Florence Raffin, Florence Rhodes, Cy Granofsky, Al Smith, Eugenia Edelstein, Alex Kammer, George Stewart, Amy Martin, Laser Schwartz, Burton Kleinman, Jenny Roth, Joseph Schwartz, Rella Court, Myrtle Mathis, Teresa Schwartz, Raymond Lapidus, Clifford Sushman, Norma Weinstein, Gerda Beiner, Claire Gerskop, Harry Gervis, Howard Steicher, Herbert Pomerantz, Rose Orlinsky, Lawrence Fisher, and Helen Medoff. If there are other names or names whose pronunciations you'd like to fix, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. For all the names spoken out loud and all those whose memories guide our lives even after they're gone, we join together on page 294 in Kaddish Yatom. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei techol beit Yisrael, b'galau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam l'amei almaya, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudshah brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, tamiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Zichranam livracha, may the memories of your loved ones always be a blessing to your lives. You may be seated. We turn to page 321 for Adon Olam.
With a tune you might recognize.
Adon Olam, Hashem Alach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Ve'itnasa, B'chefso kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei kichlot hakol, Levado himloch nora, Ve'hu haya, Ve'hu ove, Ve'hu yeh b'tifara, Ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni, Lehavshilo lehachbira, Ve'li reshit, Ve'li tzachli, Ve'lo ve'hamizra. Adon Olam, Hashem Alach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Ve'itnasa, B'chefso kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'hu echai v'chai goali, Ve'tzochev li ve'tzara, Ve'hu nisi Hakosi ve'yom ekra, Ve'yado avkid ruchi, Ve'tishan ve'ya'ira, Ve'im ruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira. Adon Olam, Hashem Alach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Ve'itnasa, B'chefso kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Next year.
We invite all of the kids here to join us for Hamotzi. Come on up quickly.
If you're under the age of bar bat mitzvah, come on up. We know who you are. If you're under the age, my child who's sitting right there should come up because he is under the age of bar mitzvah. Come on up, child. Come on up. The bar mitzvah's not till April. Come on up, buddy.
Okay, everyone gather around. On the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Amen. You can start eating that. While they eat that, we have to say thank you to everyone who came tonight. And as long as we're saying thank you, we have one more quote for you from Ralph Marston that says, "Make it a habit to tell people thank you, to express your appreciation sincerely and without the expectation of anything in return. Truly appreciate those around you, large and small, and you'll soon find many others around you. Truly appreciate life, and you'll find that you have more of it." We hope you all appreciated our service tonight. We hope you'll join us for the Oneg, which is actually out on the patio, not in the Oneg room. Go straight out in the patio. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. If you need service credit for the service,